in the last year or so, I lost about 10 pounds. I'm pretty proud of that weight loss because I did it in a healthy, slow, and what I believe is a sustainable manner. And hopefully I can give you guys some tips.
Hey y'all, I don't think I've ever talked about Cheap Lazy Vegan, but I found this pretty interesting. I saw this, and so I watched it, and she lost 10 pounds. At first I was like, why though? I didn't understand why she's saying this is a good thing, because I thought she was always tiny, slim. She looks short as well, so a small framed woman. I'm probably a little bit taller than her. I'm 5'4". But yeah, and so then I went to her Instagram to see the before picture, and I was like, wow, okay. But what's interesting about this, and this is why I want to go over her day of eating, she must be estrogen dominant, and carrying the weight. Any weight gain goes straight to her midsection, it looks like, because her legs are still slim. That's why on camera she always looked like she was still slim, because her face, her arms, upper body looks normal. And then her belly is just larger than the rest of her body, which is kind of odd. A lot of women do have issues with this, though. I noticed that I seem to carry weight in my midsection. If I start gaining it, it'll go to my face and other areas of my body. But, of course, not those areas you wish it would only go to give you those curves.
Up early and like get things done. I set the alarm at like 6:30, maybe 6, and then of course I can't get up. I'm like way too tired, and then I ended up sleeping till like 7 o'clock. And then on days when I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sleep until 7, I wake up naturally at 6. Like what? And this morning was the same thing. I think I set the alarm at like 8:30. I was like, you know what, I just want to sleep in. And of course, naturally I just got up at 6, but I still felt kind of tired, so I was like, you know what, I am going to stay in bed. So that's what I did, and then I ended up.
Okay, so before we get into what she's eating, because my first assumption would be she's not having enough protein, but, you know, for a vegan, I think she is. It's just maybe not enough for her. I don't know, really. We're going to talk about it. But this sleep thing, I feel like this should be an indication of health, because you should be able to go to sleep when you're tired and then wake up and be restored. You know, you might need a little, like I need a few minutes in the morning to feel like I want to get up and get moving around, but it literally doesn't take long at all. I wake up and I go. I'm going all day. I'm not saying everybody has to be like this, but, you know, I'm just saying insomnia issues, if you're waking up but you still feel like your body needs more rest, that should be a problem. You know, people that have trouble falling asleep, things like that. So all I'm saying with that is that should be one indicator that something's off with her, being as she thinks she's eating so healthy, you know, and she's active and she is young. She should be pretty vibrant. Okay, let's start out with breakfast. She had this, which is, let's not worry about the berries on the side. She had the toast with the fake tuna. And what she did was she used chickpeas, blended them up, mixed them with some vegan mayo and whatnot, and put it on toast. So, of course, that made me want a tuna melt for lunch. So, yeah, I just cooked a little tuna on the stove. I threw in a couple eggs with that. Threw that on toast and put cheese on top of it. Oh, I put a little onion and mayonnaise in with the tuna mixture as well. And I had a little sauerkraut on the side as well. So I'm not going to count how many, you know, how much protein is in each meal and how much she's had throughout the day and all of that stuff. Here's the thing. I don't really count or track ever. She said she counts calories, and I guess as a vegan you would have to track at least, you know, periodically and make sure you're on point with the nutrients you are supposedly getting from that diet. But yeah, I don't really believe in that myself. I mean, other people, I guess it works for them, or if you're trying to lose weight or something like that. Even when I'm trying to lose a few pounds, I don't know why. I just will not. I won't do it. I can't do it. Because I feel like your body will tell you what it needs. It'll tell you when it's hungry, and then as long as you're eating nutritionally dense foods and minimizing the treats. So yeah, that's how I like to approach it. I feel like your body will just tell you what it needs, and when you're craving something sweet, you know, try to make it minimal, because this is not something that you necessarily need. So, okay, being as I don't track or count anything, I'm not going to do that with her. Okay, so this is why veganism to me, this whole diet is just completely unnatural. I don't mean to sound like Three Rich, but even for those people that aren't counting and tracking and they're becoming deficient in certain things, but they think they're making it, they think they're doing great because they're getting gains and all of that. They still had to learn the whole system, like a nutritionist, basically. They had to learn chronometer. They had to learn something. They had to learn macros, micros, and how much of this they should be eating, how much of this they should be eating at every meal. All these different vegetables and different fruits. They need to get this micronutrient and that micro. You know what I mean? So it's like they can't just relax and be a normal human. Eat when they're hungry. As long as they're eating whole foods, it should be fine. You should be hitting mostly everything you need. That sort of thing. That's why veganism to me, just off top, doesn't make sense.
Tofu to make the miso tofu sticks because they are so good. So I will leave the recipe link down below because you guys need to try this. I've made this like 3 or 4 times at this point because I'm obsessed.
Okay, so this is her lunch. I just wanted to show that little clip because that looks so disgusting to me. It looks like sponge. I've never eaten tofu, by the way, so maybe I just don't get it. But I don't know. What does it have other than protein? Does it have any nutrients? Maybe I should look that up. Hold on. Okay, so supposedly a little iron, calcium, potassium, protein. Not much. I mean, you have to understand, these foods, these animal foods have a little of everything usually. So I think vegans get impressed by like a few minerals here, a few vitamins there, and that's what I was just talking about, having to make sure you get this, and make sure you put it with this food, and make sure you eat it with this vegetable, and make sure you eat this fruit, and it's every day like this. So this was her lunch, and as you can see, she does try to make sure she's getting protein at every meal, it looks like. The thing I will mention, though, is she's on the no oil train, or thinks that's a good idea, minimal oil. So she uses as little as possible. I think she's scared, like a lot of vegans, that seems like kind of like high carb Hannah. They're scared that it's going to make them get fat. So the pasta, she does seem to be trying to lower her carbs, or maybe it's just calories in general. So she mixes zucchini with the pasta, and I'm not thinking of the pasta as anything to count necessarily. Maybe there's a little fortification in it and a few things in zucchini, but not much of anything. So for a snack before dinner, she has a sweet tooth, so she eats some cereal with some berries in it. And with her milk, she used a protein powder, like a chocolate protein powder. She thinks this is delicious. It does not look good to me. I love cereal, by the way. I like to eat it as a treat, and I try to minimize that because I don't want to overload the grains. But I'm trying now to do fruit instead of that. But point basically is that for a vegan, I think she's getting quote unquote enough protein. She's making sure she has it at every meal, even at her snacks. And before I get into dinner, the reason why I'm showing you what I eat as well is because I want to show you the difference in muscle mass is pretty astounding. And I'm going to let you listen because she works out, I believe, more than me.
Now my fitness consists of either running or walking outside, as I mentioned earlier, or I like to do some at-home workouts. So because right now it looks like it might rain, it hasn't rained yet, but it doesn't look very nice out, so I'm definitely going to do an at-home workout. And for at-home workouts, I've been enjoying this channel called Growing Ananas. I hope I'm saying it right. And she basically does like 30-minute, 40-minute sort of kind of higher intensity sort of workouts. I like them because she does a lot of no repeat workouts, and so it seems to make the time go by a bit faster. They're definitely challenging. I definitely get a sweat going, so I'm gonna do that, and I will see you guys after. Woo!
She's not lazy, I'll give her that. I'm assuming she works out about 5 days a week. She didn't say, but the workout plan looks like who I follow, MadFit. It's just HIIT workouts, different abs, booty, different circuit workouts, and using your own body weight. Now, I don't do MadFit every day. I work out like 3-4 times a week. I probably only do MadFit about once a week now, so I don't even know if my workouts would be as like intensive as hers. But I do have a kettlebell, and I'll squat with that, so maybe that's why I'm gaining more muscle mass in my legs than her. I think the reason, though, is because I eat way more protein, way more. And that's just eating meat, eggs, milk, things like that with my meals. I don't really run anymore because I have joint issues, but I do walk, and it's more like hiking around here because we have a lot of hills and ridges and bluffs, and yeah, I'm pretty active with the kids. So for dinner, she has some sort of soup. It has a bunch of different vegetables in it, and I believe that's it. I don't know if she put tofu in that soup, but she has some on the side there with the rice and the broccoli. So basically what I'm saying is, for the work she's putting into this is pathetic results. These results are just trash. Trash. And I get some people have different body types. Not everybody is blessed with amazing bone structure and everything like that, but your muscle and everything that you have on top of that bone structure, you can sculpt. And I just want to show this example really quickly. This is a girl that I went to high school with, and she was in softball and all of that, but I'm showing you this example for those who may be like, oh, well, you lift, you're like a bodybuilder, because compared to her, I almost do look like I'm doing some heavy lifting, but I'm not. I'm just a normal person doing moderate exercise. This, on the other hand, is a woman with a large amount of muscle mass, which that's not really my preference, but I would suggest for anyone who wants to build up a little more mass, get a kettlebell. For sure, get a kettlebell. I absolutely love it. Mine is only 20 pounds, like I said. Maybe eventually I'll go up to like 25 or 30. It reminds me of Swayze, the Unnatural Vegan, sweating it out every day, trying to make sure she's eating right, and getting zero results. Maybe they'll lose a few pounds of fat, gain a few pounds of fat, but nothing ever happens with the muscle, okay? And so maybe they see some of these vegans, that particularly the men who are bodybuilding and scarfing down the powders and the TVP and whatever else it is. It's constant work, and they'll say this. They don't even want to eat half of the crap they're eating. That's why the protein powders are so important to them. They can at least drink that down. That's basically all I wanted to say. Anyone on this diet that looks like they have a great physique, it's usually short-lived. This diet is trash when it comes to trying to get in shape. That's just all there is to it. It is not hard to eat a normal amount of food and naturally just have all the protein you need without thinking about it, and not to mention all the nutrients you need. Y'all have a blessed day.